Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your movie guide, and for today's episode we are going to talk about a movie that has been showing for a couple of days already here in the Philippines, and it stars Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, and it's called Bad Boys for Life. Now, Bad Boys for Life is actually the third installment from the Bad Boys franchise, which actually began in 1995. And then it was followed up in 2003, and it took 17 years before the third installment had been produced. So, the movie is actually about two old cops who are already in their 50s, and one of them, Martin Lawrence's character, is actually considering retirement because he already has a grandson. On the other hand, Will Smith's character is, very much up to his prime. Okay, he's a very popular cop. He's a hero cop. He's been branded as someone who is bulletproof, and he still would like to continue with his service in spite of his partners telling him to already retire, consider getting married, and start a family. Now, the first thing that, of course, I like about this movie is the partnership between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. For these great actors to have performed that kind of level of performance, I really believe that they have probably preserved their friendship and have remained friends off camera. That's why, when you watch them in the film, it seems like they have remained friends all throughout these years, especially in scenes that require their comedic acting skills to show up. We were just laughing so hard when we were watching this film, and it evidently shows that these two have remained friends. And I'm glad that that sort of level of friendshipness remained in that film, because probably if they did not see each other or remain contact with each other, it would not have turned out to be the way that it is shown. Now, the second thing that I like about this film is the character development of the villain. Now, unlike in the first two movies, where the villain did not really have much of an MO to actually be considered one, this one stems 25 years back. Now, of course, I will not spoil that to you who have not yet watched the film, but this time, the villain, or the villains, I should say, have a motive actually to go after Will Smith. And it took 25 years in the making before they could actually execute their plans. And for some movie enthusiasts, like myself, villains actually play a very important role, because your protagonist is only just as good as your villains. And without the antagonists, your movie is surely doomed to fail. And of course, I believe that it was well written. Okay, it was well thought of, at least in that film. What happens there is, of course, I'm going to zip my mouth again because I might not help myself divulging to you the information. Now, the third thing, of course, that I like about this film are the action scenes that you will get to see in this movie. And I tell you that it has not lacked any of the scenes. You name it, you have it. You have your car chases, you have your gunfights, you have your fist fights, you have the drama, of course, since there is an incorporation, just a little bit of a Mexican telenovela, something that we Filipinos are very, very fond of. And what else? You have your heroes combine or joining forces with a new batch of team that would supposedly help them solve the mystery of how come these are the only targets that have been sought after by their enemies. And so you see the dynamism of the work that had been done by the staff and the crew and the artists who were involved in the film. You see that, you know, nothing was actually wasted, and you know that, you know, when you go in there and you leave the cinemas, you know, you would be feeling very happy because the efforts of everyone paid off. I guess the only thing that I find problematic about Bad Boys for Life is, well, you know, when you escape prison, I don't think the authorities actually should be resting or not put in high alert, because from what I get about it is that they could not find the antagonist in spite of her being a high-profile villain, a high-profile inmate, and it seems like it took the Americans' intervention to actually find her. And you know, that's kind of a bit not realistic, I should say, because you know, you have your own police work, you have your own responsibilities to protect and serve your own countrymen. I just find that a little weird, you know, because it took an entire team of Americans to actually shut down a rising Mexican drug cartel. And I'm sure, you know, in real life, police officers in Mexico would actually be, you know, searching them high and lows. And you know, that's it. You know, that's the thing. The only thing that, you know, I find it a little, you know, weird. Okay, now is there a need for you to watch the first two films just in case you have not yet watched any of them? Well, from my perspective and from viewing the third one, no, this film, actually there is really no need for you to watch the two, because the movie actually is a standalone. But for perspective and where are they coming from, I would recommend you to watch Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2, so that, you know, you will be grounded and have a better sense of the characters. And at least if you get to watch all three, you will now get an understanding of how this film was created and how the characters made their life after 25 years. And so before I go, I would like to personally thank my movie buddy that day, one of my kids. His name is Rod. And thank you, anak, for joining me in watching that film. I know you did have a blast, and I know you were laughing with me, and you were reacting with the other audience at that night. And of course, I hope to see you in the next movie, assuming that you're not busy. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My verdict for Bad Boys for Life 2 is a 4 out of 5 stars. And it's that good. Compared to the other two movies, this one is just really awesome. And so, thank you for another episode of my movie review. Again, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell so that you are aware that I have uploaded a new video. So this has been your movie guide. See you at the movies!